Oh yeah. You sure?
Black Skeleton. I love my Nightmare Before Christmas movie.
See,
I'm
the
telling
black
you,
doesn't show your
between
boobs as big though.
Well, they're always big.
every one of these we do, you all have a different hairstyle.
No, this was the hair. This is still my Thanksgiving hair. I'm trying to hold out until Monday so I can take it out and then let my scalp breathe, and then I'm gonna get it rebraided before. Because I'm going back to California for Christmas and New Year's. So
I've been doing this the last couple of weeks because I
girl,
don't know
looks
what
good.
else to do. Thank
girl, can we get an oomph and an oomph?
you. Can't move it too much because it'll stay there, and then I'm not like a white girl.
Just give a little flicker of the bang.
Oh, flicker of the I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Queen and Chris. You look.
What's up?
Delicious. Chris is still looking
Same.
delicious with his hairstyle, his easy breezy hairstyle. So here we are. I mean, again, we're just talking about hot topics because the new season of Married at First Sight starts in January?
Mm-hmm.
But Lord, do we go to
Nashville?
With Nashville, yeah.
I'm really kind of interested in this one because how many southern cities has it been to?
They did Tech. They
Atlanta?
did Tech Houston,
Atlanta,
Dallas.
Houston.
They've been to Dallas. Oh no, have they been to Dallas?
No, I don't think they've been to Dallas.
No, Houston.
San Diego.
No, I'm talking about southern states. Louisiana.
Atlanta.
Oh,
Georgia.
that's right. Yeah.
They did
Georgia.
That's everything.
So Atlanta, yeah. And then they've done
Florida.
They did New York. You did New York, right?
Did they?
State.
Yeah.
They did New York? That must have been before I watched it.
Yeah, they did New York.
They did Boston twice.
Yeah, they did Boston twice.
I'm surprised they haven't done LA. Yeah. Yeah, because there's a black couple.
They can't do LA. LA, nah, they can't do LA. Come on.
Why?
Because it's LA. Because Married at First Sight has been on for so long. And now everybody, we've been saying this, that now the people that go on there aren't really per se looking to be married. And
cloud chasers.
It's all for the cloud. LA is, if they do LA, kiss a goodnight, I'm done with Married at First Sight. Because ain't nobody off, I shouldn't say that. But I
think they're getting like $5,000 a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me try my ass up there. How many weeks is it?
I think they get like a minimum of about $5,000 a week. Even if it's $5,000 a week for doing that shit, on top of your other job. I got to find out how much they get paid.
Now, y'all know, albeit we look good for our age, but y'all know we ain't getting on no Married at First Sight. They don't want our full. It's bad enough they were lambasting Mitch for being 41. Really?
Oh, I'm sorry. The couples are paid $1,500 per episode.
Yeah, I thought it was $1,500. That seems to be the general for all of them.
50 to 60 hours a week with. There's 50 to 60 hours a week with them. I said they pay $1,500 per episode.
All right. So having said that, this is why I'm excited. And I know I've said it in all the podcasts past, and I was like, I'm done. I don't want to watch Married at First Sight anymore. I'm done. But I got to watch Nashville because some of the spoilers have started to come out, or teasers have come out, not any video, but just on the Facebook pages.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently one of the husbands makes a proposition to one of the wives, like legit right after the weddings. And I'm all for that mess.
What do you mean makes a proposition of what?
Like he don't like his wife. He likes that wife.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
Maybe they should just have a free-for-all.
Ooh, that's what I
So I've been watching the Married at Married at First Sight, the UK version. I sent you all like a clip. Remember?
Oh, is that the new one?
It-
Is that a new one? Because
it's
Australia
a
was
new
first, right?
season. But they've had a couple of seasons. So I was just watching the very latest season.
It isn't on Lifetime. It's on YouTube, right?
No, it's on Channel 4.
What's
Channel
that?
4. It's their TV station, Channel 4.
Oh,
You watching British TV?
You got
Yeah.
BritBox. You got
Yeah,
BritBox.
On what?
yeah. I don't think you can see it here.
Yeah,
How
I
do you
can't
get all
good. Huh?
what special thing do you have to watch on British
I can
TV?
watch Canadian TV too.
Well, what the hookup you got? Well, holler at us after this because we recording, and I'm gonna need that Ponzi scheme after the show's over. Okay, because I like my British shows. Ciao.
But they're and the thing that drives me crazy is like different country, same bullshit.
Same bullshit.
Same, because you're dealing with people, same bullshit. And there was this like fine ass black Brit guy, just didn't know how to act. And he had a good woman too, and it was like a Paige, and she wasn't as bad as Paige, but it brings you to that. But she was really pretty, really put together, a little heavy, and then in his mind, she was just like, ooh, it's a little too heavy for him. Your face is pretty, but I don't know if we match. And it was because of her body. He was an asshole.
I'm still messed up over Bao and what's his name?
Bow, bow,
Johnny.
Bow.
I thought they were perfect for each other.
I know.
I'm trying to change the LED lighting because I feel like it's so bright in the back of me. So hold on. Keep talking.
It's
like you have a halo.
Relationships in general, and we got to have a good discussion about that because
but I think it's relationships in general because there's so much choice now. International choice. I think there's so much choice, and Instagram always has you, and all social media has you looking for something better. There's always something better, no matter what. So people are never satisfied with what they have or what's in front of them. They're always looking for something else, something new. I really believe that's society, though. That's more society. And also another thing is, for me at least, they look at divorce as an option as opposed to a last resort. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm,
it's like, oh, if it doesn't work out, we'll just get divorced. And that's why I've always had a hard time like standing in front of my friends and family and saying, for the rest of my life, I'm going to do this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I don't know if I can be honest with myself if I said that, unless I really truly believed it. And I guess people really truly believe that, but why say for the rest of my life if it's not for the rest of your life? That's always bothered me when people declare that.
I get that because I feel like, well, I got married young, so I don't like that.
Right. That's no. I mean, that's an excuse to me.
Right.
If you weren't ready to get married. If you're ready to get married as of age, right.
But I feel like, okay, so say you're 30. By 30, 35, you should be, ready. And then I see people getting a divorce like 2 or 3 years later. They always say the first 5 years, try at least the first 5 years to make it to that point. And then, but like you said, it's very easy to keep divorce out. It's an option. And instead of trying to work it out, like I'm not saying if it's a mental abuse or physical abuse or whatever, but most things, if you chose to marry someone, there was something that made you make that decision, and most things could be worked out. Now, it's good that you're honest enough with yourself to say, I don't know if I can stand up in front of all these people and say for the rest of my life. I think I can say for the rest of my life, but I know
now, because I only got 30 years left.
Now, do that now.
Like now, I 30 years.
Because you might only be here.
Because I ain't got 20 years or 25 years or 30 years. I mean, seriously, do the math.
Hey, you never know. You might be here 50 more.
Mm.
Oh, I
But
hope
I'm just
not.
saying,
I don't-
you would think that you would be more mature and be able to make that decision, even if it's not marriage, just a commitment to one person. And I just feel like at this point, like at our age, I'm hearing so many stories that either they're not wanting to make that commitment because they feel like you said, so many options, or they choose to make that commitment. And you brought this up, Tanya, because I'm not feeling 100% healthy, and I might as well lock it in with somebody that I can grow unhealthy with. I don't want those choices.
Or that's going to take care of me. Someone that is going to take care of me.
Is that take care of you like for your health, or just take care of you financially, or both, a combination?
Could be a combination, but I'm looking at it as health wise, because a lot of men our age, specifically, I'm not going to talk about white men because I don't really know, but Black men in general, they don't really take care of them. I mean, they try, but they're not as proactive as like we are to go and get their yearly check. Not you, Chris. You're a unicorn. I know you're giving me that side eye. Right?
There's a lot of unicorn men like that. I don't think that.
I'm just listening.
No.
I don't think that's really okay. You know what I think it has something to do with too? Economics. Like depending on your
Health insurance,
in your lifestyle is like your job, how much money you make. Because when I see, and even men our age, you know, they're looking good and they're taking care of themselves and they're at the gym and they're fit. But then I see another demographic of us and I'm like, sir, you might need to not eat that barbecue. You might need to slow it down some. So I think but I do think it has something to do with economics.
That is true.
Also, I was having nothing to do with marriage, but I was looking at there's a thing about there's a Compton guy who's opened a vegan restaurant. He's like, because anything within reach, there's no Whole Foods, there's no this and that, it's all fast food, and that's why so many Black folks are diabetes and
food deserts.
High blood pressure.
Let's call it what it is. Right. That's what we call it on TV or on the news. They're food deserts. I remember the first time that I came out to LA, and it's everywhere because it's even here in Boston and New York and major cities across the country. But I always had this thing. Before the first time I came to LA, I always had this thing like LA, California is like everybody's doing good. Either you're famous or you're professional, or everybody got money and this, that, and the other. And when I first came out there, and my cousin took me through a drive because I'm just weird like that. I'm like, I want to go to Compton. Like, I want to go to Compton.
That's where I wanted to go when I went.
I want to go to Compton. And he's like, you don't want to go to Hollywood? And I'm like, I think I can do that. I can do that anytime. I'm like, I want to go where our people are at. And we were driving on Slauson. It was like Slauson. And I was like looking out the window like a crazy person, like I'm like sightseeing and shit. And I was like a little upset because it was like, as big as LA is, like Compton and whatever, it's like every other corner was a check cashing place,
liquor store,
a Church's Chicken, a liquor store, a beauty
store
where you can get your hair and your extensions. I'm trying to think. Oh, and on the corners were like the Mexicans with their carts selling tacos and fruit cups and ices and everything. And I'm like, where's the fucking supermarket? Like, is there not a Vons or Ralph's nearby or a Whole Foods? Well, y'all don't have Whole Foods out there. And I'm like, or Wegmans or whatever. And I'm like, y'all ain't got no Sprouts nearby? Like Sprouts is like the Whole Foods
Nope.
Wegmans with the organic and fresh stuff. And I'm like, this is why our people are dying. And why our people
pretty much.
are obese and disgusted. I mean, they're just dying because everywhere I looked, there was a Church's Chicken, which I thought Church's Chicken went out of business like 20 years.
And did you know that most of is it churches? Like 90% of them are owned by Cambodian people or Filipino. There's a whole article in Los Angeles about how I think Church's Fried Chicken, there's a special thing for franchises and Cambodians of all, anyway, forget it. Go ahead.
Church's Chicken. This is when I realized I thought Church's Chicken was out of business because Shahida. Remember Church's
I
Chicken?
love some damn Church's Fried Chicken.
When we were in high school, and remember Church's Chicken right on Blue Hill Avenue, right at the corner of Morton.
That's right near my house, so I used to be there every Friday night.
We used to go there. My mother, when I would come out there in Tomatopan and see you and all that, my mother used to always be like, we're going to go to Church's to get some of those honey biscuits and some chicken. Loved ourselves some Church's Chicken. So when it was gone, I was like, oh, Church's Chicken bellied up, whatever. And when I came to LA for the first time, I was like, is that a
I've never seen it in LA.
Oh, it's in LA.
Churches?
I've never seen it. No.
Churches?
Yeah, if I had known Chris, I would have been like, yo, you want to take me to Church's Fried Chicken?
There's one right down the street from my house.
Really?
There's one right down the.
Did not know. I'll be seeing you next summer, sir.
Shahida, and if I'm there, I will not partake in that Church's Chicken. No.
Listen to me. They started the chain in South Los Angeles in 1976 and has more than 148 restaurants in 7 states and 3 countries. A big reason for the chain's success is Cambodians.
Wow. But
more than 80% of the franchises are owned by Cambodians.
That don't surprise me.
80%.
Look up
and many of them are
who owns Popeyes, because I really feel that is like not Asian but Pakistani.
Well, we already know
the ones here are owned by Pakistan. Man.
You see, the franchise owners, many of them refugees, shared an understanding of poverty and struggle with the neighborhoods in which they're located, and they are frugal, getting by on far fewer profits, during survival. So Cambodian refugees understand what it's like that's why they have so many. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, but that's crazy because they rich now.
Mm-hmm.
By 2009, 90% of the 100 restaurants were owned Cambodian owned.
Wow.
So
they took that over they took over
the more you know.
Damn.
The more you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay, here we are. All right. So anyway,
back to what you were saying about like Black men not taking care of themselves like Black women do. I don't see it, but I get what you're saying.
The reason why I say that is because I've read a couple of articles online,
and
true or not, that there are a lot. The percentage of Black men between the ages of 55 and up are now that haven't taken care of themselves are now in like assisted livings or nursing homes.
Really?
And they have nobody taking care of them, whatever. And it's like, yo, take care of yourself.
Wow, that's yeah. You be in a bubble, you don't know.
My apologies. It's not Church's. It's Louisiana famous fried chicken chain.
Popeyes?
It's Popeyes?
The Cambodians own Louisiana famous fried chicken.
It's Popeyes, right? Nobody
the restaurant
calls it Louisiana.
Part of the Louisiana famous fried chicken chain. So I think it's Louisiana. Louisiana. Have you seen Louisiana famous fried chicken?
No.
I never heard. When you say Louisiana famous fried chicken, I'm thinking Popeyes.
Me too.
No, it's Louisiana famous fried chicken, and there's a separate one too called Louisiana fried chicken. I'm sorry, so my bad.
Is that in Cali?
It was started in Cali. Why would you start in Cali with the fucking Louisiana fried chicken?
Oh, you gotta send me. You gotta
Because
send.
California has all the migrant black folks. Yeah, I've never seen that.
I ain't never seen that, but you need to send that to me because if it's still there, I'm going there. Me and G are gonna go there and have
But
some.
you wasn't gonna go to churches. But you wasn't gonna go to churches with me.
You're not gonna be there on Christmas. I'll be there.
I said next summer.
Anyway, okay. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I didn't even get it. We got on fried chicken stuff. So going back to, I think that's options. I think it's the options that people look at marriage as, oh, if it doesn't work out, it's so commonplace now to get a divorce, and there's no real shame in getting a divorce, even though there's some sort of, it's easy to get a divorce. They say, what, 50% of all marriages end in divorce, and is it 60% in California? It's something ridiculous, like, 2 out of 3. So
here's the thing: we live in a world. We live in a world where people have options now. Women are, as we know, Black women are the most educated people in this country, and women in general are doing the most and getting their own and having their own. And it's like women want to be married and have a secure relationship, but it's easy to opt out now, as opposed to when our parents and our grandparents were married, and it was like the man that was the head of the household, and the women kind of stayed home and took care of the children and stuff.
It's also
family.
access.
Was married like 3, 4, 5 times.
Say what?
In my family, the women 3, 4, 5, 6 marriages. Until they got it right. I have my Aunt Mildred. She had 6 husbands.
What?
She's what? 98 now. All of them died.
And all her husbands.
I always tell people, my aunts on my mother's side, they all thrive, and they're in their 90s and 100s. The men,
gone.
Not so much.
Gone.
I can count on one hand of the uncles I got.
I know that married men live longer. That's for sure.
Not her husbands. Do we have a little Black Widow situation going on here? Like, all her husbands didn't make it. No. Let me get my, Oxygen Channel and MSNBC Dateline and shit. I'll be like,
but going to what Chris was saying, yeah, or what you were just saying about, like, back in the day, women stayed married, and honestly, that was not what I saw. I saw, if it didn't, but I saw a lot of abusive men too, like, my uncles to my aunts, and they were abusive, so they didn't take it, went on to the next.
But I'm telling you, access is a big thing now. Mm-hmm. Now you can have a relationship with someone across the world, and FaceTime, and it's almost like when our parents, there was a limited scope of what you could, it's like right in front of you, or maybe where you went to school, this and the other. But that was what or in your neighborhood, your town where you grew up, that's what you had to deal with. And now it's so open. There's always something new. There's always something better. There's always something. So.
Yeah, but see, I don't fall into that, because I'm like, yeah, there's always something new. There's always something better. There's always, not better per se, but there's always something better looking or better shaped.
Or better, have more money.
Or
be nicer, or be.
Again, it all depends on what you want. Because if you want to be shallow like that and just be like, okay, I've got somebody that I click with and I'm good with him or her, and there's feelings established, why not make that work? Rather than being like, okay, I'm with this person, they make good money, they got this great job, whatever, they have a great personality. But boom boom over there got a little something that I like a little bit more. One, like, maybe she got bigger titties or a bigger ass or a bigger bank account. why would you leave what you have and establish an emotional?
Because you know what you have, and that the new thing could be even better. It could be if it has that plus what you want. I mean,
And
I'm just telling you, that's
yeah,
the access
that's
people
how a lot
have.
of people think.
Yeah, that's the access people have. They have access to, and they're constantly shown something that's hotter, better, richer. More things, and
Yeah, sorry, I don't work on them levels because for me it's an emotional thing. If I'm in and I'm very, I mean, I love you guys and obviously in the podcast and everything. I'm out there, but with regards to relationships, I'm a little bit closed off. Like if I meet somebody and I'm able to be vulnerable with them and establish an emotional connection with them and there's feelings established there, I would like to think, because this is how I'm thinking, I don't care who comes down the pike that it might make more money than him or might look better than him or could give me a better life than him. I'm going to be like, nah, I'm good.
But you also have to understand, most people you're okay being alone. Most people don't like being alone, and a lot of women don't necessarily like being alone because they could be more successful, whatever, and say, "What do you bring? I'd rather be alone than not have someone drag me down." And so, even though I want that, so they'll keep trying and trying and trying. But you're comfortable being alone. A lot of people are not comfortable being alone. They just want to be, and they're trying and trying and trying. It's just not happening.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it's
And
not
they're
that
looking for.
it's not that I don't want to be with somebody. It's just like I'm comfortable with being alone.
And you should be, but everyone should be comfortable being alone.
Right. Yes.
I'm at the point where I'm so aggravated with seeing what's going on in the dating world, especially with people in our age group. I'm like, why are we still having these issues? But here we are. It's like the fucking 20 and 30 and 40-year-olds. And it's in our age group too. And I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to play these games anymore. And let's not get it twisted. I get male friends that I might have went on a date with back in the day, and I'm not going to call it any names, but Shahida, you know one. That it's like, we are middle-aged, like really middle-aged people. And
actually, that's not true. We're middle age is actually 35.
30.
Oh, well, then we elderly, okay? So listen.
Hold it.
Friggin' senior citizens benefits right now and get my maid from Elder Services to come clean my fucking house because I'm tired of doing it myself. But I digress. So what I'm saying is, we should know better. Like, you should know what you want and you should know what you're looking for. What you cannot do to me as a man at 54 and over, and I'm doing that because that's my age. You cannot text me at frigging, because y'all two know what time I go to bed. You know this is right about my
You don't take naps, but go ahead.
Take naps. I don't do naps.
There.
I'll sleep. If I do naps, I'll sleep all day.
Go ahead. Tell your story,
Yeah, exactly.
Tell your story.
Look.
The edible just kicked in, so now it's like all over the place. But I'm saying is, what you can't do to me is text me at like 2 a.m. Hell, 11 o'clock at night, maybe 9:30 at night, depending on the day. It's like, hey, what you doing?
Why not?
What you doing?
Where you at? Oh, you got plans.
What you doing? No, and it's not even it's not even the what you doing. It's the why. It's the WYD.
I'd be like,
and I'm like,
I'm up.
I'm like,
you up?
I'm up.
I haven't seen you in a minute. I'd like to, get together. And I'm just like, my response is plan it. I don't have time to have these conversations. If you want to see me, and I'm just putting this out for every man out there that watches this podcast and every man that I know that has done this to me. If you want to see me, if you want to take me out with the goal of possibly relationship. I'm going to need you to man the fuck up, and I'm going to need you to plan a fucking proper date and say, meet me here. Or if you've been to my house before, you can come to my house and pick me up, and we're going on a proper date, and we're doing all that and then some. Other than that, leave me alone with the fucking what you're doing. Haven't talked to you in a bit. Let's get together anytime soon. Plan it. And then when I hear crickets, now I'm looking at you sideways.
Are you splitting the bill? 50-50?
No, because what I will do
Ah.
and what I have done is I like to eat what I like to eat. I like to drink what I like to drink. If you can't afford it, I will sit my happy ass down and say to you, if I'm looking at the menu and then guys are, well, what are you looking at? This is what I'm thinking about. If you don't want to pay for that, I'm fully prepared to pay for it. And I'm not buying glasses of wine. I'm buying bottles because why am I going to pay fucking $15 for a glass of wine when I can pay $45 for a bottle and have like a good 3 glasses of, do the math.
She's hot.
I see that.
So I have no problem with telling a man, this is what I want. If I want filet mignon, with fucking lobster tail, if I want foie gras, if I want naan and the whole 9 at Otrium, is it Odium?
Odium.
Odium. If I want to have the whole 9 at Odium, if you are not able to pay, you don't want to pay for what I want, then I got it. I got me. I always got me. I always have money in my pocket just in case, and a good credit card just in case.
So it for you, it is, you're just not getting the quality that you want.
No, and I'm not saying I'm not, because I'm not looking.
Yeah,
I'm not
saying.
But what I am saying is the rare that has reached out to me, I'm like, this is me looking at my phone like, really? Like, this is all you got.
So is it because, okay, Chris, you're the guy. Is it because they have so many options that they could, because it, and truth, I agree with Tanya to a great extent. If you want to, even if you wanted to just hook up with somebody, unless you all have been talking on the regular or whatever, a 2 a.m. text, what you doing? No. You should have texted me at 4:00 and got me ready for a couple of days or something like that. That sounds
what if the women are texting you at 2:00?
Huh?
What if the women are texting you at 2:00?
A woman?
Well, talk about that. Go ahead, speak on it. Because
no, I'm just saying. Yeah.
Just texting you at 2:00 in the morning.
Okay, I'll tell you this one thing. I'll tell you one thing. If a man is texting you at 2:00 or whatever and saying, "What are you doing?" It obviously has worked before in some regards. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. It obviously, if it's 10 times and you tried it and it worked twice, right?
But I'm just saying, for her, it's like you can't. It's like out of the blue. Like, oh, she hadn't heard from somebody in like 3-4 months.
It obviously worked with somebody sometime, because otherwise they wouldn't. Not necessarily with you. I'm saying it could have worked with someone else, and it's obviously men don't do things if it's not going to work. So if they throw 10 what are you doing out there and they get 2 back.
That is true.
You think you're the only person he's saying, yeah, I haven't talked to you in 3 months, and be like, oh, Tanya, look at that. Oh, I'm gonna call Tanya. What you doing? I'm gonna call. What are you doing? What are you doing? But it obviously has worked. Otherwise, people would not do it.
Texts too, but they like at 10. Reasonable.
But this, okay, so this person.
But at 2:00, but at 10:00, you could be asking for, something else. At 2:00.
Exactly. But see, this person, it wasn't like that. So I was like, why are you all up in my text messages, bro? I'm like.
But you don't respond because.
Get it twisted. We went on a date. We went on a couple of dates. And the first date, he pulled that Dutch bullshit. And I was like, ooh, really?
How do guys like, okay, like I'm asking Chris, like when you get to a certain age and okay, like
Certain age. Kill that noise. It ain't a certain age.
Yeah, but see, there's a fine. Okay, let me break it down to you.
okay.
Let me break it down to you. There's a fine line between traditionalist
Mm-hmm.
and a modern man, modern woman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I am a traditionalist. I
Mm-hmm.
am a very traditional type of person. So when I'm courting, I am trying to be as traditional as possible. Yes, with some modernisms in it. But most men today have not learned that, have not been taught that, as well as they don't
Yeah.
need to do it because they're still getting dates and still going out with people when they don't have to open doors or do it because women will still go out with them.
Yeah.
Is it a cultural thing?
No, I think it's across the board now too.
I think it's
I think and also the younger men really don't have traditional values, and also the women's lib movement a little bit. Women are like, I can, and especially probably 40 and up now are like, I can do whatever I need to do for myself. I
Yeah.
don't need you. I don't need you to do anything like that. Even though they're like, well, why wouldn't you pay for me? It's like, well, you make more money than me. Why would I pay for dinner if you make more money than me?
Mm.
You make more money than you're this and the other, and that doesn't make sense to if a man is making $50,000 a year and the woman's making 150 and she wants to go to some place that's going to be $120 date, and he's like, well, I can only afford, we can go someplace. I mean, is it really that's what you want? But her standards are so high, it can get kind of tricky. Like if you want to go to I'll take you to a place that it will be $60 for dinner. But if you want to go to 150, we're gonna have to split it because I can't afford it. If that's the standard that you want, you see what I'm saying? So but I think there's a traditional thing of women like, I can do whatever I want for myself. I don't need a man. And also remember in the 50s and 60s, relationships were delineated in terms of a man worked and brought home the bacon, or women you usually stayed home and took care of the kids. There were two defined, ways of how you could, treat. Now we're kind of like not even backwards. We're kind of like, well, what is really traditional? What is not traditional? So like, if I don't open my door for you in the 50s, women would be appalled if you didn't open the door. Now it's kind of like, oh, I wish you'd open the door, but now you don't even think of it. I mean, when they do it, it's like, as opposed to an expected thing. So our society and relationships have changed to a certain extent where that's not it should be a basic requirement, but now it's not even an option, and now it's a bonus to a woman if you do it.
Right.
So
I don't know. I hear these complaints and I hear these from women. But I don't have those issues like wondering if he's gonna pay for the dinner, and I'm not thinking, I'm like, so maybe I'm seeing more traditional men, but that's why I asked if it's like a cultural thing, because the times that I have run into that, it was a different culture or the same culture.
So I'm saying that's what I'm trying. Which is which? Who was paying for the dates regardless? Black folks were paying for it regardless, or black folks are not paying for it regardless? Black men are not.
A non-black person paying for everything. Always. I've never had that. Always.
That's a whole nother discussion that I have no experience to talk about. All I'm going to say is this. Here's my expectation. If a man asks me out and I accept, I expect him to pay for it. Period. If during the date everything's going well and there's the potential for a second date and we agree to like, okay, let's go out to dinner like next week or, brunch or whatever, 2 weeks from now, whatever. I don't care what you want to do. I have the mentality that I would be like, okay, we're going to go out. I got this. I wouldn't say it to him before. When we got there, I'd be like, just let you know, I'm going to pay for this because you paid for the first date. Now we're on date number 2. I got this. But in the back of my brain, I'm going to hope that he's going to say, oh, girl, I got this. I'll be impressed. But if he doesn't, I'm not going to shade him. I'm not going to have an attitude because I already put it out there and I will pay for that.
I broke up with a woman because after probably 4 times when I took her out and took her to a football game and brought, we went to Veggie Grill or something afterwards or some place. I'm like, I said took her at least 4 or 5 dates, dinner, this, that, and the other. And we'd fooled around. I don't even know if we fooled around. I mean, it got to the point where like, I'm waiting for her to be like, let me get this, or let me at least reach. Let me just do the reach. And she never did. And I was like, you know what? I can't. If you're not even willing to say, hey, let me do something for you. And I'm not talking sex. I'm just talking about consideration of like, you paid for the last 4 things. You took me to the football game, which is, $200, all this money. You spent all this money on me. We're not having sex. You're just starting to date me. After a while, I'm kind of like, well, are you only in it for it to be taken out? And there are a lot of women, especially in the younger generation too, that just want to be taken out, period. So you have to figure out, like, and so a lot of, I don't know, black men or whatever, but a lot of people are like, well, what do you want this in the first place? Are you going to treat me with respect, or if I'm just going to keep having pay? Because a lot of women will just go out with you I don't really like him, but but we're going to dinner. And I'm gonna get some fun. Have someone take me out and whatever. And I'm not gonna give him any, or So that's where but as a traditionalist, I was like, let me keep on. And after a while, I'm like, I see the type of personality that you are. That you're not even. I'll make you dinner. Let me take you to lunch. Let me do that. She didn't have that, and I was like, okay, well, I don't need to date you anymore. We don't need to date anymore.
No.
And I told her that. I told her that too.
The key word that you said in your comment was respect, because that's what it's about. It's like, if I don't know. I'm just gonna chalk it up that I just don't know this whole dating thing anymore. That's why I'm done, and I'm not in it. But it's like the rules back in the day was you date. There's dating for a purpose. Like you date for a purpose of marriage,
getting the drawers,
getting divorced, of course, yes.
No, getting the drawers. I said getting the drawers.
Getting divorced. I'm sorry. Yes, but getting the drawers. Men are not. Look,
okay, being realistic, Tanya.
But again, you're dating with a purpose. You can get in the drawers before marriage. I mean, we're not that old, for God.
But that's the only reason why a lot of men are dating, period, is just to get in the drawers, because they are sexually attracted to you and they want the drawers. What do I have to do to get the drawers?
So here's the thing. If you are that dude that only wants the drawers, then don't get mad. And it's not to you, but don't be mad if you're taking this woman or these women out on dates and you're paying for everything, and she's not coming up and saying, you know what, you took me out when we went out last time, you paid for everything, I had a great time, and that's why we're hanging out now. You know what, let me get this. Don't be, if that's your end game, is to just hit the skins and keep it moving and hit some other bitches' skins, then you best to be prepared financially to pay for all that shit. Because if that's
but how do you differentiate between someone who you want to hit the skins, but you also may want a relationship with? Men are not going into. Men are not going into most relationships that I know saying, "Oh, I'd really like to have a relationship with that woman." So no. They're trying to go, I want to have sex with that girl, and if she doesn't bother me or annoy me, I want her to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, but when you're having a conversation, like if you're sitting at a table, like you could very well go into a date thinking, I just want to hit this bitch's skins. Like the end game for me is I want to fuck her, period.
Right.
And when you're sitting at a table with her and you start having like, I mean, not you, but men can't be that fucking dumb. Like if you can't be sitting across a table.
Have you been to a strip club? Men pay thousands listen, men pay this is how dumb men are. They pay thousands of dollars to have the experience of a hot woman talking to them, knowing damn well they're just in it for your money, but they have the delusion of thinking that that's why I don't like strip clubs. I don't like, don't come near me. I'm not gonna pay you anything. I will give you, if you did a good spin on a pole, I will throw out a couple of dollars to you, ma'am. But we are not, that is about, do not come near me. I do not, I don't, I'm like, I like watching, but don't think that I'm going to be falling into the whole thing. Like I remember I was in Vegas, this is years ago, and I was having a conversation with this girl. I'm like, so like trying to get in, she's sitting on my lap or whatever. And I'm trying to get to know her. And I was like, this, that, and the other. And I was like,
Can't
this,
get to
this,
know a
that.
stripper. Go ahead.
But I know that now. But I'm saying, I'm talking about the delusional ability to think that a man, oh no, she really likes me. No,
Mhm,
she likes your
mhm.
money. So that, Tanya, when you give men more credit of like, you know that she's not, no, that men just really want to initially go out with you because they're trying to eventually be with you or have sex, and hopefully it develops to have sex more and more and more, and it's good. Then they want a relationship with you. Men do not normally go into, I want to date this girl because I want a relationship with her. That's most likely 98% of the time. Men are just trying to, they find you attractive. Well, on the other hand, women would go, well, I like him. I find him attractive. I'm going to see if I'm going to let him have the skin. You know, that's,
Mhm.
but men will try anything to be. So that means, how do you differentiate between a woman who is just having fun and leading? Like, I don't know if this woman was trying to lead me on, but you know, how do you differentiate between, oh, I like this woman, I'm trying to do the right thing, trying to do the right thing, she's not reciprocating. I'm like, well, wait a second, we haven't even had sex yet, you know, or I'm not saying that that's a part of it, but I'm like, but so what, not what am I getting out of it, but can you give me some kind of respect back, or at least the grab, at least the reach to let me get this. No, no, no. And I've done it many times. No, 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 it's okay. I got it. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. That at
Oh,
least sound makes me feel like, it makes me feel like, okay, well, she's just, look, even if you're not, even if you're doing it as a fake thing, just to fake the, you know, you didn't bring your wallet. Even if you're doing it, at least it would make me feel better
That's
to be
always be
like,
like, you know, you're faking that shit. You ain't got nothing.
but at least it makes me feel of, you're at
Bye.
least you're, oh really? Oh, okay, sure, thanks, thank you. Oh, are you sure? Well, I mean, you took me out. Oh, that's really sweet.
But
That's
I
really sweet.
always pay for my male friends, like the ones that are just
yeah.
platonic. I
Oh, yeah.
always have, you know, I play the other games with other people, actually, but but I always pay.
Okay, I haven't mastered that then, Shahida, because
Mhm.
I haven't, apparently I haven't mastered that, because I do the same. Like, you could be like my friend, like Chris is my friend, and we could go out to dinner and he could pay, and then see him again and be like, bro, I got this. We good. Like,
Yeah, but it's not a. We're talking about relationships. We're talking
Yeah.
about strictly. Yeah.
So
yeah,
like
but
with relationships, I'm the, do you want me to? And then I kind of say it like, bitch, I know you don't because we fucking. So
Right. Right.
see, I need to come
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
back on you a whole ass TED talk on that for bitches like me, because I'll go on a date, or I've dated men and we've gone out to dinner and they've paid. And then the next time we go out to dinner, I'm like, let me get that. And they're like,
I mean, that's a splurge. You do that. But let me ask you both a question, because when it comes to that, remember I don't know what the girl's name is, but Diddy, the girl he's dating, Carisha or something.
yep.
Carucci?
What's her name?
Is it Carucci?
Who?
No, it's Carisha, something like that. He dated
Oh.
Carucci.
No, Diddy's dating Young Mommy right now.
Yeah, but what's her name? Her name is Carisha. Okay. But I was reading that they broke up for like an instant of a second because he was giving her $50,000 a month and then he cut it down. Huh?
Then he's stupid. Why is he giving that bitch 50 grand a month?
But
Why do you think?
And I'm like,
Why-
damn,
why
I
do
need
you-
to talk to her
Right.
because I
Shit.
need to know what their deal was because I like that deal.
I do. And I'm all for it.
Like,
give me $50,000 a month. Listen to me.
to be your girlfriend or whatever, not his girlfriend, but his chick, because they supposedly can see other people. $50,000 a month, and then he tried to
So
go
where's the
down
line?
on it, and she deleted all his stuff from Instagram, and then
Exactly. So what's the line? What's the line between
yeah,
prostitution?
you know what? I don't have a problem with prostitution anymore.
I'm not saying I have a problem with that. I'm just saying, where do you draw the line for people between, paying for a date or prostitution? I mean, the extremes of here of like, I am just paying you for sex, when it could be under the auspices of, you're going to be my girl, relationship, we can see other people, but I want you exclusively to be, I'm going to give you, if you give me 50, if you're giving a woman $50,000 and she can see other people and do whatever she wants to do, but still be beholden to you, is that not a form of, that's not really a relationship? It seemed to be they're not, he's having sex with, I would imagine.
It's an agreement.
Right. And there's agreement in prostitution as well.
Right.
If you give me money, I will sleep with you.
I mean, like if a man, I feel like men should pay for sex, and I mean, like, let me finish.
Oh, I want to go on. It's like
I'm
this.
just saying, especially in the terms of prostitution, if you feel like you just want to hit it and quit it, then that's an option for you. There's prostitutes that will do that for you, and no shame in their game. If you don't want a relationship with a woman, you just want to be able to have sex with somebody and not think about what colors they like or when to take them to dinner, then that should be legal for you to go ahead and do that. Now, there are other women who get into relationships and you want to be in a relationship with a person. Although it's not termed prostitution, you're getting monetary benefits from that relationship just as well. But he's getting all the baggage of your emotions and everything else that goes along with it, because he's choosing to be in that relationship. So you have a choice. You have a choice to have the type of relationship you want and not be. I feel like you shouldn't be shamed about it. Like, men shouldn't be shamed if they want to just deal with prostitutes. Fine, because you're not making any children. You're not dealing with, her friends, her parents, her family, nothing. You are just have a contract. This is what you want, and then that's it.
There's an emotional component to that too, though. A man does want to feel like, there is a transactional in terms of getting a prostitute, but men want to feel also they have the girlfriend experience of someone who's just going to adore them and talk to them and make them feel good. And a lot of women, a lot of women don't necessarily are. Yeah, I mean, I'm not speaking for her.
Listen, it's a communication thing. It's communication, because I will provide you with the girlfriend, the
experience.
Wife. I will for $50,000 a month. I will provide you with the whole. I will wear the motherfucking Beaver Cleaver mama dress with the apron, the hair, the shoes, clean house, cook meals.
That's not what he wants, though.
But here's the difference. And here's the difference.
A month, I will do whatever you want.
Tanya, for you, the difference is Karuchi, whatever her name, Kismet, whatever the fucking her name is. If she says $50,000 and getting. Not feeling guilty about getting $50,000, mind you. $10,000, be feeling guilty. $50,000, not feeling guilty, but not only that. If she's going to say, if I don't get my $50,000, you're gone. I'm erasing everything for you, because you know why? Someone else will give me $50,000 or $60,000 or $100,000. There's someone else that will do that. And that's a part of her. That's if you're happy getting $50,000 from someone and he reduces it when he doesn't have to do it at all, and he reduces it, and you have a hissy fit, she can get it from someplace else. You and me are, a normal person.
I'm baffled.
Yeah.
She's not bad because she's not stupid. She's not baffled
No,
because
she's not
she did
stupid at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if she erased it, he's like probably like, oh, we can't be together. Like you're not giving me $50,000
Not
anymore.
on my Instagram.
That's how dumb, man. That's how dumb dudes are. Dudes are dumb.
Yeah.
Dudes are dumb and do a lot and will pay a lot and do a lot and sacrifice a lot for some booty.
Terrible.
Period.
So, all right, let's talk about a real ass hot topic before this shit duds down. Oh, it's getting messy over at ABC's Good Morning America.
Yeah, that was fun. So I'm trying to figure out. So for those who don't know, the Good Morning America two hosts of it, of this black brother and this white.
What's his name again?
White,
TJ. I never even heard of this guy.
I neither, and I never heard either since I wasn't watching Good Morning America.
Never heard of her
them
either.
Are both married
Mhm.
and were found carousing around. Did you see the pictures in the video when he smacks on the behind?
All in her crack. Like
now,
such a white man thing to
TJ,
do.
now TJ, if you are married and you're carrying on with a married woman and you both work together, are you obviously are willing to risk it all?
That's what I'm saying.
Willing to risk both of you. Willing to risk it all for that love. That's a special kind of love. I hope
the public eye, even though we didn't know who they were, you're on TV every day. You knew. Okay, Tanya, go.
And I'm sorry. And the fact that you getting caught being so obvious about it with each other in public, that's just messy. Go ahead, Tanya.
She getting ready. Go, girl. Come on.
Let me glisten my lips for this one. Oh, because I work from home, so I watch Good Morning America every morning. When I wake up, do my workout, Good Morning America's on. TJ Holmes and Amy Robach. Amy Robach. Amy Robach is married to the dude from
Andrew Shue.
90210. Was it 902?
But they're separated. They've been separated for a while.
What was the other one? Melrose Place.
But they're separated. They've been separated for a while.
They're separated. TJ Holmes that's their drama. TJ Holmes, on the other hand, got some taint on his ass because he's on his wife number 2.
Oh, that was wife number 2?
And the first wife, he cheated on her incessantly and then got with this second wife, which leads me to believe
no, he cheated on her a few times too, and he wrote something to her last year on his Instagram, praising her for dealing with some of the bullshit that he's put her through, and then here we come next year, and he's doing the same shit. But he's not cute.
But wait a minute, it gets better because he put her through that bullshit and put that sorry ass Instagram post on. Now, for anyone that doesn't know who TJ Holmes' current wife is, I forgot her name, but anyway, she is a fucking attorney and she is the chief of staff at fucking the label that Jay-Z owns, or the company that Jay-Z owns. Rock Nation. That's it, Rock Nation. She's the chief
okay. I didn't know that.
Of Rock Nation. So, and apparently before he was macking down Amy Robach, he was macking down having an affair with one of the producers there. Bloop. 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 TJ is done. And they're going to...
I don't know. I was surprised that they kept him.
That's his attorney wife.
Mm-hmm. I was surprised that they kept them both on.
She's super cute.
They kept them both on, and they said they weren't going to do any disciplinary action towards them, right? Mm-hmm. And then Friday, not yesterday, but last Friday, they were on their 1:00 show because I purposely put that shit on my TV because I wanted to see that smoke. Mm-hmm. And two of them sat at the table and at least be humble about it. They sat at the table across from each other and they were like, "Oh, it's Friday. we had a good week. Did you have, he's like looking at her, did you have a good week? And she's like, no, did you have a good week? And he's like, oh, we're going to talk about it. And they were yucking it up. And I was like, I can't believe these motherfuckers are sitting at the goddamn table live on TV making a joke of this bullshit. There is children involved. There is spouses involved. And you two motherfuckers are sitting there like, how was your week? Oh, how was your week? And I think that it was right after that, like the next, like Saturday, it came out online that they pulled them from ABC altogether.
Wow.
And I'm thinking Robin Roberts had a play in that one because Robin was out for a minute because of the holidays.
I heard a couple of people were upset about it that they work with, like,
came back because Good Morning America is the Robin. Listen, ABC Good Morning America is now the Robin Roberts fucking show. That bitch controls everything. And she came back and was like, "Yeah, this is not. No,
I was on.
it wasn't.
I was on.
Huh?
I've been on Good Morning America. I've been on.
When?
I was on.
I've been on the Today Show, so
I've been on the Today Show with David Hartman. Remember David Hartman back in the day?
Yeah, the one that died, right? He died.
Yeah.
on the Today Show with anybody famous, but Lester Holt because I was the fan of the.
Oh yeah, I remember.
You were the fan of the day?
Oh, did you not see that video? I'll have to send you that video. I Stone Cold stopped. I love me some Lester Holt. If Lester Holt leaves his white wife and comes to TT, I'll make sure that he is happy for the rest of his natural days. Okay.
But back to them.
Back to TJ and yeah.
I was really perplexed when that story broke, and it made me think. And I know you guys probably heard from Nia Long, like her statement about how the Celtics handled everything, and it should have been a private matter, and they had no consideration for her or her son, and that hit it. But men who had there's no way I would ever have a relationship with somebody that I work with while I am working with them, because I feel like I want my job. Somebody has to go. And I've seen it where people do come forward and they say, we are in a relationship, but they're not a direct subordinate or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And there is a way to do it. Like you think about Mika and Joe, they too got together after working. And I know how easy it is, because when you're working with someone every single day, you literally sometimes see your work family more than you see your actual family Monday through Friday. So
true.
I get it. And I'm not slamming anybody for that. I'm just saying at one point, you got to think, I'm fucking up here.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And if I get busted, I'm going to humiliate a lot of people. So I'm going to do everything I can not to engage in this behavior. And for him to go from a producer of the show to his co-host, he don't care at all. He don't care at all.
He wasn't. Why wouldn't he? I do it because if he did it because he could, because he dated the producer and nothing was done. He was apparently still married to his wife or separated from his wife, and he was fucking the producer, and whatever happened with that relationship.
The producer and her are good friends.
And yes, and they kept him. ABC kept him, and he flourished. He was all up in there during the week and on the weekends and the 1 o'clock segment because he was flourishing. Then he got with, and mind you, the producer was a white woman too.
No, she was Asian.
It was she? She looked a little white to me.
She was Asian.
Well, maybe
so Lester Holt is your guy, huh?
I had the maddest crush on. I still do. I think Lester Holt is Lester Holt's my boo. I'll send you the Yes, I love him.
Watch his dancing though.
I know that is bad.
He's married to a white woman.
No, they ain't got nothing to do with her. That's him.
I blame her.
one day we got to do a show, an episode on the craziest crushes we have that people be like, what? Because that one is a what for me, but I get it. Because I got some people that on my list that I know people be like, how, why, what? Gotta do a show on that one day.
I love Lester Holt, and I'm gonna give you another one.
Ooh.
And we can talk about it. I'm giving you another one, and your jaws are probably gonna drop because for me, it's Lester Holt is for me like he's so intelligent. I'm like drawn to smarts.
I got it.
I'm drawn to smarts. So you might not be the most attractive person in the shed, but if I talk to you and you're like wicked smart, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get moist over that. So you know who my second crush is? The astronaut dude, the astronomy guy, what's his name? Neil Tyson.
I get it.
I love him. And he's the weirdest looking dude. He looks like he could be my dad or my grandpa, but he's probably like more our age. But I'm like, if I ran into him in the street and he's like, I'd love to take you out for dinner, I'll be like, okay, I'll pay.
Can I just you know what? I kind of why are we this way? Because my crush
Okay.
from Karumbing, you know, that group Karumbing, my favorite group, that band.
Karumbing.
I've never heard of this group, but go ahead.
Heard of that group. Here we are.
Yeah, I went to their concert 3 times, and anyway, never mind. So she's pregnant, and I had some kind of feelings about it. I was like, really? Really? I have some kind of feelings about it.
I have some crazy ones too, but I have to look them up because I know their faces when I see them. But a lot of them are MSNBC reporters.
So we got to do 2. I gave you my 2. Chris, you gave us 1. Who was your other one?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, I always had a thing. I like Gugu.
Who?
Gugu and Mbatha-Raw.
Oh, but that's a good one though. It's like people who would not. She's pretty. You don't think so?
I thought you just said crush. Are you kidding me?
No, we're talking about crushes that are like just so like out there where people be like, why? What?
Oh, go ahead. With your
do your
shit. I'll think about mine.
Yeah, I'll have to think about mine too because I have their faces. I just don't know their names. But a lot of them are writers.
Lester Holt and Neil Tyson, whatever is Neil something Tyson, the astronaut.
I think Lester Holt's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, I mean he is, but he's corny, and it's usually the corny guys that you do have a crush on. I know there's a few corny guys that I like.
He is corny, but he's kind of I like him. I like his swag. Like I like the way when he was on the Today Show and on Dateline, the way he would like talk and the way he would. I'm like, I like him. And then I went there and I made myself the fan of the fucking day. Damn right.
Well, I had a big crush on Brian Gumble for a while.
Brian Gumble, like this? He talks like this. That was the one impression that I could do. So, Shahida, did you ever think about going out with me? Yeah, Brian Gumble.
I have a story, but I'm not telling it on.
Ooh, well, we're gonna have to hear this
on the interwebs.
I'm not telling on the interwebs. Definitely. I have to look at my other ones, but I will come back to this. We'll table it.
I don't know if I know. Yeah, I got to think about an unconventional crush. Well, like, you know who I really like?
Who?
I just realized it. I think it's just because of her talent. You know, talent. You know, you say smart talent to me. When I see someone that like is like so like open and beautiful, you know who I kind of have a thing for?
Who?
Olivia Colman.
Who's Olivia Colman?
I can see that because she is.
She is.
I love her.
She's so talented, and she's so
talented.
She did the Father.
I first saw her on the Peep Show.
Lost Daughter. She won an Academy Award. Well, she was nominated. So and The Father. I just watched The Father. Did you ever see The Father with Anthony Hopkins?
No, I
Oh,
haven't seen it. I saw the
he he
preview.
won he won the Oscar for this role after remember it was like out of nowhere and he wasn't even there. I watched it last week. It is he's so
What was it on?
I had the DVD. I get the screeners and
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
And I had all these like old things that I haven't watched, like Coda, I still haven't watched, like things I
Okay.
haven't watched. And I was like, oh, the Father, I'm gonna watch. I put the Father in. I was like, oh, he won for the Academy Award for this. It must be pretty good. It's about a father who has well, I'll just let you, it has Alzheimer's. And Olivia Colman plays his daughter,
Hmm.
and she's just a beautiful actress. But something
Yeah.
about her, I'm like, I really just feel her. I can feel how open she's just an open. It's just seemingly because in order to be that for me, that powerful an actor, you need to literally be so open and so raw and so vulnerable that everyone can see all your stuff no matter what, and being able to hold it open like that. That's she's
What is she?
so
I think I got hip to her on Broadchurch.
She was excellent in Broadchurch, but and see,
she's
David
no
Tennant is mine. But
right there you go.
I love some David Tennant. That Doctor Who did it for me.
I got a little for him too when I was watching that, and then the American version, and he came on the American version. I
Yeah,
was like,
he's on the American version.
Chris, I have a question for you, and if you don't want to answer it, you could just say table it. Do you get to vote for like the Academy Awards and stuff? Are you part of that?
No, I'm not. I'm not in the Academy. No, because I haven't been nominated.
Oh, so
I haven't been nominated.
I just
Yeah,
thought that
if you
you
no,
have to
there's an there,
be in the Academy.
no there you have to be have done some. I guess I could be in the Academy. I know I could be in the TV Academy too, and I used to vote for Emmys and stuff like that. And I obviously I'm for SAG. I can vote for the SAG, but that doesn't. But for the Oscars, you have to be invited. I think not everyone can just be in the
Yeah, because it's
Academy.
only a certain selection of group, and it's usually they've been complaining old white people.
Yeah, Olivia Colman last year won the Oscar for The Lost Daughter for best performance by an actress
Hmm.
for leading role. She was, and for the father, oh my, you got, I would just, you should see it and just let me know. She's so beautifully open for it. So I was like, even though I'm not necessarily, that's not my type, so to speak, but something about she, I like her.
Like some people, you just want to I want to sit at a table with you. I want to buy you a drink and just
yeah.
talk to you about just stuff. And there's a lot of people. I got to do me a list. I got to do me a list.
Yeah, that was one of the best times when I got to do 8 scenes with just me and Anthony Hopkins, literally just the two of us. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting in a car with him. We're shooting a scene, during the, get out of the car. So I was just asking him questions. I'm like, so, what was this like? What was that like? And he's talking about Laurence Olivier, and he was telling me about, when he was trying, he was really bad alcohol problem and this and that. So I was asking him acting stuff. And did I tell you the story about Charlie Chaplin? When he was 12, he saw his film and wrote Charlie Chaplin a letter, and Charlie Chaplin wrote him back.
Oh,
And I'm like, do you have the letter? Do you have the letter? He's like, no, I think my mother threw it away or something. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine if you write your idol, Charlie Chaplin, and Charlie writes you back, and it's Anthony Hopkins. And then ironically, when he was on the set of Chaplin, filming the movie of Chaplin, Robert Downey Jr. of Chaplin, that's when he found out he got nominated for Silence of the Lambs and he won that award.
Mm.
so you know what? We're gonna keep this going because we're at the hour mark, and we gotta shut this down because
Yeah.
we don't bore anybody.
But
But
we're just talking.
when you brought about Charlie Chaplin, it reminded me. I don't know if you guys have watched it.
Pedophile, you mean?
Nope. I don't know if
He
you've
was a
watched.
pedophile?
No.
14.
And I
Go.
don't know if you've watched it yet on Netflix, but Blonde, the Marilyn Monroe thing, Blonde on Netflix. They are trashing it all over the internet.
Blonde, what is it about?
Anna de Armas.
Monroe, but it's like an unauthorized story of Marilyn Monroe and how she got into the business, like on her childhood, how she came up into this business. And when I tell you, when you said Charlie Chaplin, it was not Charlie Chaplin. It was Charlie Chaplin Jr., I guess, that she was in a relationship with. But you got to watch that. The actress,
Ana de Armas.
she's Cuban, and she embodied. I mean, I didn't come up when Marilyn.
She's gorgeous anyway.
She's
That's
gorgeous.
You don't think so? I think she's gorgeous. Oh,
Marilyn.
No, I'm saying yes.
okay.
Yes.
Everybody was
I was like,
no.
yes. I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, she is.
She
I
Ben
second
Affleck
that much.
put that up.
He played Marilyn so well in Blonde that when it was over, I was on YouTube pulling up, and I was on my laptop and on YouTube pulling up all of like old Marilyn Monroe footage and watching it. And that lady nailed it with Marilyn Monroe, the actress.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the media and, people in Hollywood or whatever that knew her back in the day are like disgusted by it because it's very graphic when you talk about her coming up, but it is what it is. But it's a really good movie. It's 2 hours. Listen, you know me. If it's over 90 minutes, I ain't sitting in nobody's theater or on my couch or across my bed. This was 2 hours and I think 47 minutes of I didn't leave this couch.
3 movies that I got to see before you all be able to see it that you need to see.
What?
Till.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm not watching.
I saw Till.
I'm not watching it.
You should watch it. It's about Mamie Till. It's about her as a look. First of all, Shida, you need to watch it just for her performance. This girl, Danielle Deadwyler, I did not know her before. If she does not get Academy nominated, if not win the award, I'm gonna be in somebody's ass.
Okay.
She is amazing. Just for that performance alone, it's a really, really, really good movie. That's one.
Till.
2,
Okay.
Women Talking.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's done by a Canadian filmmaker. It's all about these women who are abused in this like kind of Amish town,
Mhm.
and about them uniting together for a bigger thing. That's good. It's gonna be nominated, as well as you're gonna have the most fun in the world next week when you watch Knives Out, Glass Onion.
Oh, I'm like looking forward to it because it looks really funny.
I saw it, and Kate Hudson and Janelle Monáe talked afterwards.
Here's
And talked about you will love that movie. It's fun.
Okay. I like the first one, but this looks better.
You're gonna better.
Yep. When I was in LA for Thanksgiving, I had said before I went to LA, I had said to my cousin, I was like, I haven't been to a movie in forever. I'm like, and I can do basically anything alone. Like I can go sit in a restaurant and eat by myself. I'll go sit in a bar and have a drink by myself. I just feel weird about going to a movie theater and watching a movie by myself. So I said to him, I said, when I come out there, let's go to the movies. And sure as shit, we were supposed to go see The Glass Onion, Knives Out at the movie.
A screening? Because it's not out yet.
No, it was at the theater. Glass Onion.
I thought it's not out until the 21st.
It's out in the theater.
On Netflix. Netflix, it's on the 21st, I think.
It's coming on Netflix. And this is
I
why
thought it was coming out in the movies.
That's what I thought so too.
It's in the movies now because we were supposed to go see it because Gigi found it and he's like, this looks really interesting. And what did I do? I looked at it and I was like, Negro, that movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes.
It's so good. It's so good. And it's a big some movies you need to see on a big screen and sit down and watch it and have the movie experience. It is so much fun. It is so much fun.
Go because I looked it up and I looked at the trailer and it really looks good. So now I can't wait to watch it. But I looked at the trailer and it said he had already looked it up. It was in the theater in Redondo. And I looked it up and I was like, bro, that shit's going to be out like on the 22nd of December on Netflix.
23rd, it's the 23rd of December. Yeah. It's so good.
So we're going to end up watching that on Netflix.
It's really good. You guys. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And there's a lot of good actors in it. Great actors. All right. So
and my heartthrob, Daniel Craig, because you know I love him.
Yes, and yes, I get that. I totally get it. So
All
I'm
right.
this on a note. So earlier today, I was listening to my Pandora radio, and I have all of my stations programmed in there, and I'm like, how come I don't have a Vanessa Williams Pandora? Does she have a Pandora station? And I'm on my TV, like looking it up.
No, but she has two. She has two Christmas albums.
I know, but the Pandora, when I listen to my Pandora and I can just put in like Beyonce or whomever, and it plays like stations that are like,
I don't know.
Them. So I was like, let me pull up Vanessa's Pandora station. I pulled it up. And when I tell you that shit was fire. I mean, they played Vanessa music, but they was playing like, you know, I'm an old head. They was playing like they lumped up Anita Baker, Sade, Janet Jackson, Gloria Estefan, Ashaka Khan. I was like in my house, like, ooh, oh snap. Okay, Vanessa, with your Pandora station. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. I gotta go.
All right.
Look at y'all. Love you. We'll see y'all next week.
See ya.